Is your cell phone bill out of control? Then this is your wake-up call. The new TracFone Wireless gives you unlimited talk and text starting at $20 a month, no contract, plus unlimited carryover data with active service. Yep, the new TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
True Hawk Radio.
All right. Welcome back to the Power of Speech, folks. This is episode number 2. And I have my wife with me, an avid football fan. A lot of you guys that are fans of Planet Brooklyn and have been listening for a while, y'all know who she is.
Hi, everybody. My name is Candy.
Also known as...
Candy.
Okay, well, you know, she was Candy Cane when I met her, but you know, hey.
Oh, I don't go. Not anymore on Facebook. I'm Candy and Duncan.
Candy and Duncan, that's right. There was a marriage. But anywho, we're back to talk to you guys about this whole Colin Kaepernick controversy. You know, again, the point of the power of speech was, you know, to put good information out there, you know, get people in the know, to provide a counter point of view to maybe what happens to be popular points of view that might be out there already moving around on social media, or, you know, just out amongst the population in general. So as we're probably all aware, unless we're living under some type of a rock, we're all aware, of course, that this weekend, this Saturday that just passed, the date would have been that'd have been the 16th. Yeah, the 16th of November. Colin Kaepernick was scheduled to have a tryout for some NFL scouts down there at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That's the stadium that the Falcons playing down in Atlanta. And we've also found out that, you know, there were some issues, some power plays back and forth between both sides, Colin Kaepernick and his associates, as well as the NFL and the league. So just to kind of do a quick little timeline. So Colin is notified, I believe, on what it would have been Thursday, November the 14th, that the NFL wanted to give him this opportunity. Said, of course, what the venue was going to be, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. What winds up happening is, I believe, the day of, either the day before, which would have been Friday the 15th, or the day of, Saturday the 16th, he receives a 3-page waiver that, you know, letting his legal team and them look it over and inspect it. It looked a little bit funny to them, and as for some research that I found, it definitely should have looked a little funny to them. So basically, he decides to move the venue because of some of the stipulations that are made in this 3-page waiver that he receives. He moves the venue. There were initially, the NFL says that there were either 24 or 25, depending on the news outlet that you look at. 24, 25 teams were supposed to show up for the tryout. He moved the venue, so then it wound up only being either 7 or 8 teams that actually attended it. It's come out that one NFL executive with one of those teams, you know, feels like he definitely should be playing in the league, or he performed well enough that he definitely could play in the league. And there's been a whole lot of hoopla, a whole lot of people on social media saying a whole lot of things. So basically, I wanted to get a football. I'm a football fan, but you guys don't understand. Like, my wife is a football nut. You know what I mean? She plays fantasy football. She wants to watch NFL. What's that? NFL Red Zone every Sunday from like 1 up to like 7:30, 7:45. You know what I mean? And then the night game. You know what I mean? Whereas
Monday night and Thursday night, and I want to watch all the games. It doesn't matter who's playing. It doesn't matter if the team is sorry. I still want to see the game because it's football.
Yeah, so again, I'm a football fan, but if the entertainment value of the game is not going to be up to par, like I'm going to check out. I'm going to go do some other things. I'm going to look at some other stuff, and I'll come back and check the score from time to time. But I'm not just going to be, just 100% on that game. Oh, pardon me for a second. I'm trying to reposition my laptop here. I got it sitting on the bed here, and I just don't want it to because I'm blocking the fan up. I don't want it to overheat. So I'll go check on some other stuff and come back and check on the scores, man. But if she don't have nothing to do, she ain't moving. She is hardcore like that. So I wanted to get some feedback from an avid NFL fan to see what they, what you're feeling about the situation, and so how do you even from the start? Let's take it back to the start. Even like, how do you perceive this issue? When back in 2015 was it when Colin was feeling like, the whole police brutality thing was getting out of hand, and he decided he wanted to make some type of a political movement, take a knee during the anthem. My wife also happens to be a military veteran. She's a Navy veteran. So that's another thing that I think makes her perspective be, something that definitely relates here. So take us back.
Well, the fact that before he actually took the knee, he consulted a veteran, and they came together. They came up with the solution that he was going to take the knee because military, you take a knee for your fallen brothers. So Colin Kaepernick took that as, black men and women that are being gunned down, unjustly by police. Those are his fallen brothers, sisters, So decided to take a knee. This veteran took a knee with him. Either he took the knee with him or he stood by his side with his hand on his shoulder. Either way, he was there. He consulted, Colin Kaepernick consulted him, and, they did it.
And I believe they did kneel together. He had his hand on his shoulder or something, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have a problem with Colin Kaepernick doing it, but nobody said anything about the veteran who, if I'm not mistaken, was a place kicker for the Seahawks.
I'm looking right now. Pardon me, guys. This is it's a podcast, but there's kind of a little journalism thing to it. So this is one piece of research that I didn't have ready. So pardon me. I'm looking for it right now.
But if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that the gentleman, the veteran, was a place kicker for the Seattle Seahawks. I'm not sure if he had retired by then. I think he had. But anyway, Colin Kaepernick took the knee. Instant backlash from everywhere, from the NFL, from just the media, from the world. Everybody in the world instantly decided to say how he was being disrespectful to the flag, disrespectful to America, how he is using his job to have an outlet about police brutality. They agree that there's definitely a problem, but his job is not the place to hold this kind of protest.
Okay, so for somebody like myself, I'm looking at this whole thing, and it's not as though we don't have any precedent in this country. And as a matter of fact, what's really, really ironic is that this country, the United States, the leagues, well, I won't say the United States, but what I'll say is that the leagues, the big professional leagues, Major League Baseball, the NBA, the NFL, these guys are always puffing their chest out and talking about how we stepped out in the forefront ahead of society, and we were the first. Like Major League Baseball, we're one of the first major corporations or organizations that was, from top to bottom, that was down with, integration. They pride themselves, with having the Brooklyn Dodgers be the first team to integrate by letting Jackie Robinson play in the majors. The NBA loves to pride itself about, even through times of racial strife, how they had players in the NBA, players who are labeled as being non-white, in the NBA and everything. So, oh, by the way, my wife on it, what's his name? Nate Boyer. He is a former active duty Green Beret, he did play in the NFL with the Seattle Seahawks. Doesn't say exactly.
If I'm not mistaken, he was a playmaker.
Yeah, we think he was a player, but he was actually a guy who was in the league, and he is the veteran that Colin Kaepernick actually consulted, and who actually came out on the field. I believe the first time that he did it, was it?
Yes.
The first time he was there, standing right next to him, hand on his shoulder, and even took a knee next to him, if I remember correctly. But so, like I was saying, the professional sports leagues in this country, the thing that's so ironic and hypocritical to me is that the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, they love touting themselves with being the guys that have been the socially progressive ones, that behind the business decisions that they made in order to integrate that, the rest of the American society followed behind it, seeing that if we could work together on a court or on a field of play, that we could work together in a work, we could be together in a workplace, we could be together in institutions of education and such and so forth. So I find it really, really ironic and really hypocritical that you guys want to be, well, we'll say particularly in this case the NFL, you want to be patted on the back for all of this progressiveness with integration, but then you want to be, then as soon as this gentleman, Kaepernick, he decides that he wants to make this political statement to bring some attention to some things that are kind of getting swept under the rug, now all of a sudden you're having a heart attack. It seems like to me like it was all good when you guys were controlling the narrative of how the political statements and expressions were being made. But as soon as, somebody, a player who you want to just shut up and play, the American public is so many people, they put cameras in the faces of so many people, whether they were talking heads on news stations, whether they were, everyday Joes that they just wanted their opinion on it, but so many people felt like just shut up and play. It's interesting that when a player himself decides to make a political statement, now all of a sudden it's foul ball. But when the league wants to do something, wants to be quote unquote progressive and lead the way on social change, oh, they're such a great league, and we pat them on the back, and and everybody wants to talk about how awesome the league is. What was another thing, as we're continuing to come down this timeline here? Is there anything else that you want to throw in there, babe?
Yeah, there's a couple things. The first thing is, we're going to take this back. NFL players were not required to come on the field for the national anthem until 2009. So this is not something that the NFL has always done. Everybody had to be on the field. Before, they were in the locker room. And if they played the national anthem, they just played the national anthem. But from what I'm aware of, this is the United States Armed Forces pays the NFL to do the salute to service.
Yeah, that's another thing. I was definitely going to speak about that as well. Yeah, they definitely, it's not all from the heart the way that they try to present it.
And I know I'm moving around here a lot, but I just need to get all of this out while it's right here on my brain right now. There are a lot of people saying that someone kneeling is being disrespectful to the flag, yet these same people are at the football game, in the stands, drinking beer, speaking, hats on their head, high-fiving somebody while the national anthem is being played. So if you're telling me that someone kneeling down silently for a silent protest is disrespect, what do you call what you're doing in the stands?
That's one of the aims of this show, Power of Speech here. It's not that I'm saying that everybody got to believe like I believe or whatever, but this context that's being left out of these big national discussions that people are having on the news and having on social media, I want to get the context out there. There's a lot of little minute details that are not being presented so that you, the viewing public or whatever, when you start consuming this information, you're not even getting the information